edition of the program.
Thank you, Alpha. It's my pleasure.
All right, on today's edition of the program, we begin straight from the NPFL. Like we told you on Friday, March week one, uh, went down across many centers across the country in the NPFL. And for Abia Warriors, they opened their campaign on a winning note with a 2-0 defeat of former champions Enugu Rangers at the Aqua City Stadium. And that match actually took place yesterday. Also for Rivers United, leaving off, continued from where they stopped as they defeated Lobby Stars 2-1, also in their opening encounter. While for Plateau United, who were the runners-up last time around, had a 3-3 thrilling encounter against Shooting Stars of uh, Ibadan out there. Then for New Boys Doma United, nice one from them, 1-1 against Sunshine Stars of Akure, while the likes of Remo Stars also starting the campaign very well, 2-0 against El Kanemi. El Kanemi not starting the campaign too well, haven't made their return to the NPFL. So looking at these results, interesting outcomes from match day one fixtures of the NPFL.
Yeah, Alpha, well, I say it's better late than never. Finally,
Oh,
the Nigeria Professional Football League has started, and like you see, the match day one has been reviewed. And congratulations to Abia Warriors. Abia Warriors, one of those who strong for relegation last season,
yeah.
and it's like they are kicking the new season, starting well. To me, the fans of the flight anthem of the Nibu Rangers will be feel very disappointed, even the coach and the officials, because everybody expected Ranger Antelos having not succeed well last season.
Yeah.
Mekawa having stayed for the job like almost 2 seasons, and this is third season in the without acquiring anybody. Just people have expected that he have to understand the area, understand the system well. Maybe well. I don't want to put fault for him, maybe because they have to relocate from Enugu to Oka City, and now that they are now playing from home,
Exactly.
and maybe if that should be that would have affected their performance. But well, I'm not holding fault for him, but to me that is a quite disappointment. Quite disappointment for the Enugu Rangers to start on the losing note on your first very match at the Oka City Stadium.
Yeah.
Then, but for the Abia Warriors, congratulations to them. That's a good start. And at the same time, looking at the same time, Plateau United, who were firing from all cylinders, who chasing the United down to the last season, the last of the season. And this year,
Oh,
they have to struggle at home and then having a play 3-3 in the 6 goal thriller 3-3 with Shooting Star. To me, well, it's too early to begin to say that the season is starting well or not, but at least everybody expected that your home match you begin to win your first match at this
exactly.
event.
Yeah.
But for them, but Shooting Star picking a point away from
Mm.
Ibadan is a good omen and a good way to start for a good way to start.
Mm.
And for Remo Star, like they did last season, also have to win their first match at home against El Kanami. Well, all I want to say congratulations, and finally we are now beginning to see action in the
Yeah.
Nigerian Professional League,
Mm.
and we hope that the local players and the home-based players will be able to take this opportunity that now they are back in action and to keep the match fitting. And because more important, we are talking about the Super Eagles match is coming up very soon, and maybe
Mm.
we hope we
Mm.
begin to see
Some of them, yeah.
Pesero coming home to begin to
Mm.
watch this match. Now there's no excuse now because the league has been on the brink. Now the league has resumed. We will begin to see Pesero in the match venues to be able to identify from the local scene and then be for the Super squad.
Oh. All right. Wale has also joined us. Wale, you're welcome to today's edition of the program.
Good afternoon to you, Alpha, and also Salifu, and to the rest of the crew in the studio. Hope you guys are doing good.
Yeah, we are fine. All right. Let's move on now to the National Sports Festival, where the Sports Ministry has set up a committee to review the 21st Sports Festival medal table. Actually, it was said after an initial review was done, the ministry has decided to take a further step, setting up a committee to do a further review. This was because they received some complaints about the medal table. Well, for me, I mean, when I saw the story, I was a bit kind of confused. I don't know where the confusion is arising from the medal table. I mean, that competition was finished. I think it was transparent enough. We knew who won the highest number of medals. So, but again, then Nigeria and setting up committee. Do we still need to set up a whole bogus committee just to review a medal table? What were the issues? What were the teams complaining? Is it that one team won such certain amount of medals and they said you didn't win such amount? So I'm trying to understand this whole review of medal table and setting up a whole committee to do a review.
Yeah, Alpha, it is really unfortunate that it's only in Nigeria that when you see a snake in your home, you have to set up a committee to come and kill the snake. To me, just like you rightly say, yes, there can be issue arising from the competition of the medal table.
But do we need a committee to resolve it?
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. There can be an issue arising from the competition of the medal because you are human, there could be human error in the process of competing. But I don't think that issue should demand a committee. Exactly. If there's an issue, all you need to do just looking at it and then if they claim it's right and look at you actually won, and then you probably, if you allot a medal, a number of medals to a wrong state or a wrong team, you all need to just correct it and make it official. But to setting up a committee, almost about 4 people to come and sit down, to go and very soon, it's quite unfortunate that in Nigeria, there's a lot of things we are battling with at the moment. The economic is not favorable. People are suffering, and we find fun in allocating money for something that are not necessary. Okay. Now, this committee they will tell us that they will not going to tell that they have to go and visit Delta. You can be rest assured. What I'm telling you is not out of place. In order for them to make money, they'll tell you they'll have to go and visit Delta to meet the local organizing committee. Then we have to maybe whoever they complain of, whoever state that is complaining, we have to go and meet those team again, go and meet this official, invite these people, invite this one, and all in the process of wasting money and wasting of resources. It's quite unfortunate that we in the 21st century we are still behaving in archaic mode of life.
Yeah, I mean, well, Salif who said it all. I mean, yes, something went wrong with computing of the medals table. I think this should be an issue. Is what even we sitting here. I think if I was at that event and I'm in charge of who was computed that thing, it's something that in a matter of minutes or hours should be able to be resolved, as against setting up a committee and giving them 7 days to complete the assignment over an ordinary review of a medal table.
Of course, no doubt about it, Alpha. But just before I react to that particular story, I just want to, comment on the NPFL because it was interesting, to see, match day one, going down. And we saw, some interesting result in that particular one where teams away were able to win some games, and where teams who were playing at home were able to drop points. It shows that without any conflicts, we didn't actually get to hear any conflict, any fight at any day match venue. We didn't get to hear referees have not been paid. I think this is a welcome development for the Nigerian Professional Football League at this point in time. We hope that we get to see this particular run continue throughout the season. No doubt about it. It's just the first that they won, so we are likely to see some big teams, make a whole lot of mistakes. Just have foreseen, the likes of Enugu Rangers getting to lose and that particular oriented derby to Abia Warriors at home. But no doubt about it, as the league goes on, we hope to see some interesting result, and we hope to see that the teams get to improve, and also hopefully we get to see NPFL matches right on our TV set. Then reacting to this particular story, when I read it, it was just so laughable for me. I feel this didn't actually call for any committee. What they should have done is that they should actually call out the sport federation, tell them that they should actually submit those states who actually won medal in that different sporting event. I think that should have actually ended this issue of the sports ministry setting up a 4-man committee. And when it comes to setting up committees, another way for money to be spent, and people are saying, why not? This particular regime is going to end very, very soon, so people are actually looking for a way to spend money, because if we don't get to spend this money will surely to be returned to the coffers of the government. But at this point, I feel it's totally pointless. And for those who were actually, accused of not, putting up, this particular medal at the right time when the festival was actually going on, I think at this point in time, they should actually bury their head in the sand. And for me, I feel they should actually resign honorably, because if they can't actually do this, I feel it has actually, get to affect, when it comes to level of trust that when in regards to the national festival. So I feel, more hands should be trained when it comes to, competing, results and medal stable at a biggest, competition in the nation. That's talking about the national festival. Going forward, I feel the committee should not allow to work. The sports federation should just, turn in, those states that actually won medals in different events, then have somebody who can actually use all our laptop to just compile it and get, to release, the main, medal stable alpha.
Right. Moving on now, where Minister of Youth and Sport, Sonny Terry, has congratulated likes of Gusau and Okoa for emerging victorious at the Confederation of African Athletes Region. That's two, where they emerged as Okoa actually emerged as president of CA Region 2 after defeating his Benin Republic counterpart in the second round after the first round ended in a stalemate. And also, for Gusau, he was the chief observer at the election, and he said the region won, insisting that neither victors nor vanquished emerged. The CA Region 2, being the biggest in the continent, is one big and strong family with the sole purpose to develop athletics. I mean, yeah, congrats to them. But I mean, one thing that struck me here was at least I think they should learn from the regional body. At least we didn't hear of any factions coming up from this election, where one person will be laying claim to being the president, while another laying claim to the president, like we had in the not too long ago considered AFN. So I think if there's something the AFN should learn from this election, is that elections can be held without two factions trying to cling to power.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And one interesting thing I see about that congratulating message is when the Minister of Transport and even the Buso himself congratulating Okoa, it clearly shows that Okoa Buso has finally submit himself or admitted that he lost the election and submitted himself.
Exactly.
Because having congratulated Okoa, because both of them are claiming claim to the AFM presidency.
Yeah.
So by Nana congratulating his main rabbi, his factional group, and Nana's congratulations for emerging a CSS regional president. And it clearly shows that he has submitted that he is the AFM president. So I believe that this has finally with this. Well, this has finally put to rest the legal crisis within the AFN.
Yeah.
Now it's like both of them are now want to work in the relationship together. If you recall, Buso is the immediate past president of the zone.
Yeah.
So he's been now being succeeded by the man he has. They are putting each other at home, and that is good. And I hope it's a good development, and it will be very, very good for Nigeria athletics that we don't need any element of faction, we don't need element of crisis in the country. What all the stakeholders will work together and for the benefit of the country. Now, if it is now opportunity that we have to go to the region, the sub-region, for them to settle their accord, that means so big and beautiful for it. And we are here that even Buso now wanted to even aspire for the presidency of CAC, president of CAC. So I think both of them all need to do one thing that always interests me, that if I see a Nigerian aspiring for a position in a regional body, or a regional body, even a continental or a world body, it only interests me. And whatever it even no matter the status of that person, we should try to support the person. But if it's there, it's always there to represent Nigeria, and it's only the interest of Nigeria will be fully protected as against having another person to represent of our interest.
Yeah.
So no matter the situation, just like we should have shown some element of sportman, I expected Buso to also show element of sport and accommodating each other, and then if he needed to also support Buso to emerge the president of CAC. But if Buso is there at the CAC level and he's there at the regional level and he's also at the country level, it will all boil down to the benefit of Nigeria's athletics.
All right, we'll quickly go on a break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round. Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still Sports Orbit. Down to our next story where PSG, that is Paris Saint-Germain, will likely leave the Parc des Princes. That is their current stadium where they play currently, and this is due to a dispute with the mayor of Paris. For PSG, over the last few years, they've spent over 85 million euros to, modernize and maintain the stadium. But they were actually interested in buying up the stadium, but the Paris mayor is adamant, refusing to sell the stadium to PSG. But for her, she wants PSG to, pump in more money in renovating and modernizing the stadium. But an outright sale is completely off the table. But for PSG, they feel if they do not own the stadium, they see no reason why they should continue to spend money on the stadium. I mean, for me, it makes a lot of sense. It's like renting a building. You spend plenty of money to renovate over the years, and you feel like buying the building, but the owner is saying, no, you can continue to spend money to renovate, but I'm not selling this building to you. And PSG are saying, look, if we don't own the stadium, there's no need for us to keep spending money. And for me, I mean, I could completely understand with them why continue to invest money in something that does not belong to you.
Yeah, yes, of course I agree with you. I could sympathize with PS and I will start with them because if you're occupying a rent home
Exactly.
and you approach the owners, you can rent this, I sell the house to you, and if you know I'm not willing to sell, if you have the money and you feel that you can go and build your own, why still remaining in the rent house to maintaining the house? Why not go and build your own? I'm also disappointed that why a PSG of their calibers of what it is that are still occupying a rented stadium. But you also agree with the mayor. This is source of his income. You will not like to sell it outrightly because you know what he's making from the stadium.
I agree, but I think where PSG has an issue is you have said just like you gave instance. It's like your landlord saying, "I'm not selling this building, but continue to spend money let's continue to renovate it, but I won't sell it." So PSG are saying, "No, if we don't own it, then there's no point to continue to pump money into it."
It depends on the agreement. But if just like we say, if it is good comparable, the way we are trying to compare that, if you are owning a house and once I pay you rent, is for you to maintain the house.
Yeah.
Because if I pay the money, depending on the agreement, they have, if you agree, you must pay and then you maintain the studio. But the most important thing that is the decision that the PSG are wanted to take now. If they feel that they cannot continue to maintain the studio at their own expenses, and while they are paying a rent fee, and you have the money, it's left for you to go and build your own stadium. I think to me that is the best decision they want to take now.
But for me, I feel whether you build or buy, it's just like the West Ham Stadium currently. After the Olympics, it was given to West Ham, and some respondents are going to even said, "Oh, if this stadium, if PSG stop pumping money into it, it now becomes the burden on taxpayers who now may have to maintain. So for them, they even feel it's better. Why not give the stadium to this team? I mean, like it's done in other countries. After the Olympics, the stadium was given to West Ham, and West Ham own that magnificent edifice now. I think if I'm not wrong, Wale.
Of course, the West Ham Stadium is just is very very close to my house. It's not far from where I live, and they have been able to maintain that stadium very very well. And it has been in good shape, no doubt about it. But talking about the PSG stadium, we know that that stadium has been a fortress for them at this point in time. They are
Yeah.
comfortable, playing in that particular stadium. So that is why they actually need the mayor of Paris for them to actually saw that particular stadium, which they have actually invested about 85 million euros in that particular one in just a few years back, and it shows that they are actually spending money paid for the rent and also spending money getting to renovate the stadium. I feel it is best for them to actually get to acquire the stadium in the full, right? Let them get to buy the stadium, but it's business at this point in time, because if the mayor of Paris get to sell that particular stadium, they'll not be getting money. So at this point in time, the mayor of Paris holding PSG, at the Jaguar at this point in time, because they know that PSG are actually comfortable, in that particular ground, and it will be difficult for them to actually look for a new ground for them to be playing, their home matches. So at this point in time, both parties are actually getting, to fight, for that, particular, deal. But at this point, we know to get to favor the mayor of Paris more than the PSG side, no doubt about it. But I feel the PSG side, with the whole kind of money they have in the house now, and they are looking forward to spend about 500 million euros just to actually renovate that stadium and bring it to the proper shape they want it to be at this point. But it's going to be difficult at this point in time. They are going to need a whole lot of dialogue for them to resolve this issue. But I feel at this point in time, the mayor of Paris, looking at what PSG has contributed to that stadium, and all over the years, the kind of knowledge and won for that particular city, I feel that they deserve to actually acquire that particular stadium in full capacity. Alpha.
Right, that's that for that. Now, quickly, we'll take a look at the EPL, like we give you a preview on Friday. A lot of interesting matches went down Saturday, Sunday. Now, let's take a look at results of matches in the EPL. Of course, yesterday we saw that interesting London derby out there, where it was Arsenal 2-0 against North London rivals Spurs, while on Saturday, also another derby, United came up triumph in that one. In other results, Newcastle won 1-0 over Fulham after a tough encounter it was. And for Chelsea, returned back to winning ways yesterday, 1-0 over Crystal Palace in that one. Well, Saliful, looking at the results of the EPL that went down during the weekend, for Chelsea returning back to winning ways after going how many games? For a lot of Chelsea fans, they can't even remember the last time they celebrated a victory until yesterday, 1-0. It was against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, congratulations to I say congratulations to Chelsea, or just congratulations to Potter, because
and Chelsea fans, of course,
and Chelsea fans to some relative extent, because that victory yesterday relatively eased pressures on Potter. I'm not a Chelsea fan, I was one of those who believe that if anything happened otherwise in that match yesterday, he was definitely going to lose his job.
Yeah.
But as God will have it, God was on the side yesterday, and they were able to sneak to manage just a 1-0 win against Crystal Palace, which relatively that has put him on the job for now, and there is some pressure off him, and we hope that now, since they are able now to buy a new player from the Saturday Donetsk strikers, maybe we'll now be able to move on from there, and then capitalize on the victory yesterday, and then to continue on their to back to the winning way. For Arsenal, it was a sweet victory for Arsenal yesterday. Congratulations to Arsenal fans across the world. It was a very sweet victory, and that victory yesterday gives Arsenal some level of confidence. Yes, we are gradually issue, but it's too early to still say. I'm still one of those who believe that it's too early to Arsenal to say that they are laying a claim to the title. But if they maintain the consistency the way they are playing, they go playing, then we can hope that they are already they are definitely a contender for the 2023 EPF title. Congratulations for Arsenal yesterday. They have the game against Tottenham, and clearly they were dominant and enjoyed that victory. A sweet one for them. Newcastle also bounced back and then claimed their top position because after my you surprisingly win in the Manchester Derby, they moved to the third positions, but Newcastle was able to reclaim their position back yesterday to the top four, to the top three after beating Fulham at home 1-0. And for Man City, Man City, it was a surprise victory and sweet victory for Man City.
It was not a surprise victory for some of us anyway.
It was a surprise victory for Man City to some extent because even the first goal scored by Fernandes has come into contentious. A lot of pictures and released about that game. Guardiola even said that maybe the goal was allowed, maybe because of say it was at Old Trafford. But either it be whatever we say, either it was a clear goal, it was not either a clear goal. As far as the referee approached and allowed it was a victory for Man City yesterday, or Manchester United yesterday. But the last time the two sides played, the Man City beat the Manchester United 6-2.
That was in October, but
in the Manchester Derby.
But you agree that in the run up to this period, if you consider Man City's form and United's form, City haven't been the City we used to know. So form-wise, United have been better than City in the last 3 or 4 games.
In the form to this match.
Yes,
I agree.
Exactly. So that's why I said for me it wasn't a surprise win because after losing to Southampton, after that, they've had even after the World Cup, City has been struggling in recent times. It wasn't so.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, and same for Liverpool also. Things not going well. 3-0 losing to Brighton once again for Liverpool. For Wale, what do you think could be wrong with Liverpool? This is a team who last season were almost competing for all 4 titles to offer, but this season, Liverpool are a complete shadow of themselves, in spite of the players they've bought who seem not to be clicking. All right, looks like
if I may answer that question, obviously I'm one of those who was still surprised about it. It is Liverpool. We all know it's Liverpool that the club, but don't know what is really happening for the Liverpool team. But just former Arsenal star Ryan Friedrich, maybe because of the pressure of chasing Manchester City down for almost 2 seasons, and that is going to have a tooth on them.
No, but quickly, a lot of people have said whether you like it or not. Since Mane left that team, Liverpool has not been the same. And Liverpool has bought a couple of players, bought Nunes, bought Gakpo. Looks like you bought 2 or 3 new players to replace Mane, but it's still not working out. Whether we like it or not, Mane carried this team. Well, we have some network issues. Sample quickly, since Mane left this team, Liverpool has not been the same. So whether we like it or not, it has shown clearly that Mane was the spine, was the engine room of this Liverpool team. Yeah. Whether Mane scores or not, there's something he brings to any team he plays in.
Yeah, there's nothing can be fast than what you have just said. Even though as far as clubs and other that are connected to Liverpool try to run away from this fight.
Exactly.
No matter how they try to run away from this fight, it's clearly continuing to prove. Since Mane left, Liverpool was a team to beat last season, competing for in the final of the Champions League, in the chase Manchester United City down to the last match of the season. Even if competing for all titles in last season, but here they are this season because just only Mane left. The team is struggling in all form. James Club will know to be a better coach. He's not in charge of himself. Yeah. The more he tries to find a solution, the more they run into different. He buy Nunes, he buy Gakpo. Everybody feeling that they'll fill the gap, but Mane has refused to be replaced. Exactly. And either we like it or whatever anybody say, this is clear fact. Mane carried the team for the 4 seasons Liverpool has been fighting from us leader. Nobody can argue that one.
Clearly, now quickly a rundown of the table. Arsenal still on top, Man City in second place, Newcastle third, United fourth on same points but have a better goal difference. And Newcastle have played 1 more match over United, haven't played 19. Well, for the bottom 3 for West Ham, not looking good. Everton, Southampton make up the bottom 3.
You can see that Liverpool and Chelsea are occupying 9th and 10th position. If you look at the point difference. The point difference between Chelsea and Arsenal is 19 points. The same goes to Liverpool. Obviously, Chelsea and Liverpool, there's no how they will challenge Arsenal for a title. The only team now that can give Arsenal a run for their money and chase Arsenal down are Man City and Manchester United. Although Pep Guardiola has tried to play that, to me, he's trying to play a mind game. saying that he can't challenge Arsenal for a title. Obviously, Arsenal fans will not take that to market, or any of Arsenal should not take that to market. He's trying to play mind game. It's just how many matches? 18 matches. This is just a middle of the season. This is just a middle of the season. But we still have another 18 matches to play, and with just 18 matches at the end of the season, you have succumbed that Arsenal is going to win it. Obviously, he's trying to play mind game. Don't forget that Man City and Arsenal has not played any match this year. You still have a 2-game against Arsenal. If you win those 2 games, that is 6 points. You cut Arsenal, whatever lead Arsenal have at the moment, to 2 points. So Arsenal should be careful the way Pep Guardiola is going about trying to play my game with them. And let's see, Tottenham, Man United has also picking the form in the last 10, almost to 10 matches. Now, Manchester United have not lost any match. They are gradually to pick the form, and they are gradually to challenge to for it. So that's why I have to be careful not to remove their leg from the pedal and keep on press the pedal until the end of the season.
Yeah, Wale, quickly your take on the weekend EPL matches.
Of course, I know that about it. It was an interesting, weekend right there. Since looking at the Manchester derby, how it actually started, people were actually, complain about the Bruno Fernandes goal, but we have seen, such goal being given and such goal, being turned down. When you look at the game that Chelsea played against Arsenal, where Sanchez actually scored that particular goal, I think it was in the FA Cup final. That particular goal, Giroud actually was, going for the ball before he left the ball. Then Sanchez actually, converted, that particular ball to the back of the net. And also, you're looking at the game between Everton and Manchester United, where Sigurdsson actually scored a goal. He was actually, in line, actually, distracting the keeper, and that goal was actually ruled offside. So that particular one, it was just, the call of the referee to make, and they actually make that particular call. So I think it was a good day for Manchester United fans. The Man City to just go and lick that one, and prepare for the next match. They'll be facing, Tottenham in the next game. So there's going to be, cracker in that particular game. Then looking at Arsenal, no doubt about it, impressive performance from the guys at this point in time. I'll actually, make my final prediction on if Arsenal is going to win the league. Just as Salifo had said, if they were able to survive, the 2 match between, Manchester City, that's the 2-legged, that's the home and away game. If they were able to survive those, particular games, then the title will be for Arsenal to get to lose at this point in time. No doubt about it, the departure of Sadio Mane has really affected, the performance of Liverpool. No doubt about it. Some of the players have been, injured. Talking at the likes of Jota, the likes of, Alcantara. But no doubt about it, Liverpool have not been themselves since the departure of Mane. You can see them, getting to lose 3-0 to Brighton. It was a surprising, defeat for Jurgen Klopp at this point in time, and I feel they can be able to bounce back. But at this point in time, we saw the game between Newcastle and Fulham. Mitrovic actually scored a penalty, but it was ruled. It was ruled for an infringement due to the fact that his second leg touched the ball after his left leg actually touched the ball after he actually kicked the ball with his right leg. And at the end of the day, we saw how Newcastle came from that particular game to steal all the 3 points. No doubt about it. It was an interesting weekend. The next few weeks will actually be a decider when it comes who will actually get to win the Premier League at this point in time, because Manchester United will be playing Crystal Palace this midweek, and also during the weekend they'll be playing Arsenal. If Arsenal beat Manchester United during the weekend, then actually increase the gap between them and Manchester United. And also if Tottenham and Man City can draw, then Arsenal will be actually be cruising and fire with all cylinders at this point in time. But no doubt about it, Mikel Arteta has been doing a fantastic job. Arsenal just need to improve their squad depth before the January season close, and hopefully if they can continue on this impressive performance, they have actually start the season with getting to win 15 matches, getting to draw 1, and getting just to lose 1 against Manchester United, one of the bitter rivals. It shows that Sunday match will be a cracker, will be also a deciding match for the future of Arsenal when it comes to this season Premier League alpha.
All right, Wally, thank you for joining us on today's episode of the program.
It's a pleasure, joining you guys at the anytime. I hope to join you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Bye for now.
Thank you for being in the studio today once again.
Thank you for my pleasure.
All right, until we come your way tomorrow again with another exciting edition of the program. Do stay safe out there. My name is Alpha Cho, and it's bye-bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.